What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update and fourth stimulus check update. We have major breaking news today all across the board as new lockdowns are starting. We also have crazy news about stimulus checks going out to the wrong people. Yeah. We're also going to talk about the stimulus checks that are still going out and being sent, as well as the next round of stimulus has already begun. Yeah, very good news. Well, some very good news, some not so good news, but big breaking news all across the board today. We're going to jump right in because we got a lot to cover. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos on the third stimulus check and the fourth stimulus check package coming out called the Build Back Better package. Don't forget to hit the like button and let's jump right in. Paris announces today that they are going into a brand new 4-week lockdown as Europe is struggling with new variants all across Europe, most of which are here in the United States as well. France announced that Paris will enter a 4-week lockdown along with northern parts of the country this week following the rampant spread of the highly contagious coronavirus variants within the region. French Prime Minister Jean Castex said that France is experiencing their third wave of COVID cases, with the variant discovered in Britain accounting for nearly 75% of the new cases. The coronavirus infection rate in Paris has surpassed 400 infections in every 100,000 inhabitants. Quote, "The epidemic is getting worse. Our responsibility now is to not let it escape our control." The new lockdown will begin on Friday at midnight in France's hardest hit areas. Barbers, furniture stores, and clothing stores will be required to close, while schools, bookstores, and essential goods stores will reportedly be allowed to remain open. French citizens will be allowed to exercise outside, but unable to travel from the areas with the highest rates of infection. The French Prime Minister says, quote, 4 weeks, the time required for the measure to generate a sufficient impact. It is the time we need to reach a threshold in the vaccination of the most vulnerable. This comes as daily cases in the United States have pretty much plateaued. We're around 60,000 new positive cases every single day, and deaths are averaging around 1,500 new people every single day. We're still around 30 million cases in the United States that have tested positive at one point or another. So that's about 10% of the United States, and 539,000 people have passed away from this pandemic in the US alone. In the world, we're looking at 122 million people that have caught the virus. 69 million have recovered, so there's still around 50 million people right now that have the virus at this moment. Around 2.69 million people in the entire world have died due to this virus. Almost 3 million people. This comes as only around half of the United States frontline workers have been vaccinated so far to this point. President Biden says that the country will hit 100 million COVID shots in total this week. Most of the US is going more towards opening back up, such as the CDC saying that now that school children that wear masks only need 3 feet of social distancing instead of 6 feet. And we're also seeing multiple different states open back up completely, even remove their mask mandates, much to the dismay of many, many scientists and health professionals that say it's way too early to be doing that. And we're literally seeing lockdowns happen, just the most recent in Paris, France. So hopefully things continue to get better here for us and these variants don't hold us back. On stimulus, we already have problems. Yeah, we already have problems. TurboTax and H&R Block customers are extremely upset as stimulus check glitch sees payments sent to the wrong accounts yet again. Dozens of people who file tax returns through the two companies are struggling to receive their $1,400 third stimulus check payment for the second time in 3 months that TurboTax and H&R Block have had glitches. Several customers told CNBC their money was wrongly deposited in their temporary pass through accounts the tax company had set up for them in the past. This is the exact same glitch that happened to more than 13 million taxpayers when the federal government issued the $600 second stimulus check. After that incident, both TurboTax and H&R Block sought to assure customers that they had worked with the IRS to fix the issue and that their third stimulus check would be directed to the correct place. Well, looks like that didn't happen. Quote, we are working closely with the IRS and we've confirmed that the IRS has accurate bank account information for all TurboTax customers. TurboTax said last week as they began rolling out the stimulus payments. The IRS set the official payment date as March 17th. However, by Thursday morning, hundreds have complained on social media that they either haven't received their payment or cannot access the funds. One TurboTax customer said on social media, am I seriously about to get evicted because of the TurboTax error again? My bank account was always correct. Why is the IRS sending my stimulus check to the wrong made up TurboTax account? I need that money so bad, it's not even funny. Another customer says, I have now been screwed out of all three stimulus checks because somehow TurboTax filed me as a dependent last year. Coincident that the third one comes out right before taxes are filed this year, and I got COVID in November. Another TurboTax customer says, you stated that the IRS has the correct account for all TurboTax customers. Then tell me why the IRS says my stimulus is being deposited into the same old account from 2018. This happened with the second stimulus check also, and I've still not received it after the IRS mailed it out on February 2nd. TurboTax and H&R Block also say that they need time to account for the $10,200 unemployment tax break that was passed in the third stimulus check package and is retroactive back to 2020. If you or a family member or friend had any unemployment income at all in the year 2020, the first $10,200 of unemployment earnings will be tax free. This could mean an extra $1,000 to $2,000 of stimulus money in your pocket. But the IRS is still figuring out how to implement this, and they say do not file amended tax returns yet, as they're still setting up protocol for this. This comes as TurboTax and H&R Block also say the same thing, that they basically need time to figure out how to implement this on tax returns. I will keep you up to date on this. Let me and our viewers know down below in the comments if you think you're affected by one of these TurboTax H&R glitches, if you think your stimulus check has been delayed due to one of these issues. Apparently, the IRS has also not sent out the stimulus deposits for Social Security users, as literally about 99% of people that I've seen below in the comments and have spoken to have said they have not received their stimulus deposit on their Direct Express card yet for Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and all Social Security users. Basically, the IRS just has not sent them out yet. I have seen a few people say that they have gotten them, but it seems to be a very small percentage. So basically, it looks like the IRS just has not sent out the batch. Remember, these go out in batches, both the direct deposit batches and the stimulus check, the paper check batches. They go out in waves, okay? They go out in batches. And basically, the IRS has not sent out these Social Security batches yet. So I don't know what to tell you. I will keep you up to date, though, on that. However, the good news is that the next round of stimulus check, we're going to call this the fourth round of stimulus checks. There's multiple different things on the horizon. We have dozens of Democrats calling for not just one stimulus check, but multiple stimulus checks in the next stimulus package, known as an infrastructure package called the Build Back Better package. We're expecting multiple different stimulus provisions in that package. We're also expecting on the near horizon all the other kind of mini packages, we'll call them, coming out in the near future, including the $15,000 home buyer credit that President Biden wants, mortgage assistance, rental assistance, property tax assistance, and utility assistance that was passed in the third stimulus check package and will be going out soon. I'll keep you up to date on that, as well as state stimulus checks and stimulus packages. The states are getting $350 billion, and most of them will be passing state stimulus checks and bonuses and mortgage and rental assistance on that. as well as the $200 per month Social Security increase and student loan forgiveness, which actually just happened. Well, a portion of it just happened today. Let me show you. So, yeah, new rounds of stimulus are literally just starting today as the Biden administration is canceling $1 billion of student loan debt held by scammed borrowers just today. As you can see here, borrowers who were scammed by their schools but who only received partial relief from their student loan debt under the Betsy DeVos era department under former President Donald Trump will have their loans fully discharged, a move that will result in an estimated $1 billion in student loan debt relief, the DOE, Department of Education, announced today. These 72,000 borrowers have already had their claims for debt relief approved under their borrower defense process, which allows borrowers who attend schools that were found to be misled them to have their federal student loans discharged. In 2019, the Trump administration implemented a rule that used earnings data to determine how much harm a borrower experienced and therefore how much relief they were entitled to. After reviewing the data and the approach that rule used to calculate how much relief borrowers were entitled to, agency officials determined that the methodology created very difficult, if not impossible, standards for borrowers to get full relief, a senior Department of Education official told reporters. Borrowers deserve a simplified and fair path to relief when they have been harmed by their institution's misconduct. A close review of these claims and associated evidence shows that these borrowers have been harmed, and we will grant them a fresh start from their debt. In addition to the discharge these borrowers' debts, the department will also reimburse any amount the borrowers are already paid on their loans if applicable. So this is really like the first step in the next rounds of stimulus that we're going to see. As you can see, Biden has just canceled. This is kind of credit to the Trump administration. Whoever you give credit to doesn't really matter. But they're basically canceling $1 billion of student loan debt that falls under these conditions. And the real question is, will we see this go out even broader in the near future with the $10,000 minimum student loan debt that President Biden says he is willing to do? We have multiple different Democrats, including Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and House Representative AOC, all pushing Biden to do more than $10,000 of student loan forgiveness, to do as high as $50,000 of student loan forgiveness. This will probably be the next round that we'll see in just the student loan forgiveness portion of the next round of all these different stimulus mini packages and major packages that we're going to see. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says that President Biden can do $10,000 to $50,000 of student loan debt simply by a presidential executive order, and they wouldn't even need to pass it through a bill through Congress. I also think that it's a possibility that once we open the door to forgiving student loan debt, that there could be other types of debt that really could be forgiven in the near future. A few years ago, student loan debt wasn't a thing. It was a complete fantasy. It was a joke. People used to joke about it. Oh, yeah, you're going to get your student loans forgiven, because student loans are one of the hardest things to get forgiven because you can't file bankruptcy on them and get them forgiven except for in very, very, very rare cases. So it used to be a running joke that student loan forgiveness would be a thing, and now it's literally happening. The real question is that after we forgive $10,000 or more of student loan debt, because I really do expect it to happen from the Democrats, especially because they can do it through just a presidential executive order, will we see other types of debt forgiven? Will we see medical debt forgiven? Will we see mortgage debt forgiven? Will we see credit card debt forgiven? And you might think that some of those might be a fantasy, but remember, just a few years ago, student loan debt was a fantasy and nobody thought this would ever happen. And just today, they have now canceled $1 billion more of student loan debt, and we're probably going to see a lot more. I truly expect that we will see at least $10,000 of student loan forgiveness here sometime in the near future. The dust is still kind of settling on the third stimulus check package as they're still trying to get these checks out to people on Social Security benefits and direct deposit. Then they're going to be sending out the paper checks. So really, they're still kind of figuring this out. Remember, just yesterday, we had a bill that was denied by Republican Senator Pat Toomey from Pennsylvania to protect the $1,400 stimulus check from garnishment. So they're still kind of working on the third stimulus check package. The Senate could be introducing a full-blown bill to protect the $1,400 stimulus checks from garnishment from private debt collectors. It does appear that the $1,400 stimulus checks are free and clear of garnishment from government agencies, including child support, but private agencies can seize your $1,400 stimulus check, especially if they filed a lawsuit against you. So the Democrats are kind of scrambling to try to get this done. They weren't able to provide a provision for that in the third stimulus check package because they passed it through the reconciliation process, and the certain rules of the reconciliation process did not allow them to include provisions to have it garnished from private debt collectors, because that provision would not affect the federal budget, because that's for private institutions. It wouldn't affect the national budget. That's why they couldn't include a provision there. And that's one of the many, many reasons why the Democrats want to get rid of the filibuster in the future, so that they can pass any bill at all in the Senate with just a simple majority of 50 to 51 votes. This is not only for stimulus checks and upcoming stimulus packages and student loan forgiveness and Social Security raises of $200 per month, all that stuff they'd be able to pass with just a simple majority of 50 to 51 votes. But they'd also be able to pass any bills such as immigration bills, higher tax bills, raising taxes, any of the such things they would be able to do with a simple majority vote of 50 to 51 votes. However, this would be for all senators in the future. So in the future, if Republicans literally win one seat more in the next election, the Republicans would have control of the Senate. And I mean, in the future, it will be Republicans and Democrats. Basically, it's not like Democrats will probably hold control of the Senate forever. So this would pertain to both political parties going forward in the future. If they do get rid of the filibuster, it will basically be a game changer. That will change everything for passing bills and make it much easier to pass future stimulus bills and stimulus packages in the Senate. So I will keep you up to date on everything with the third stimulus checks still going out, the other buckets of money from that, the mortgage assistance, rental assistance, property tax assistance, and utility assistance when that becomes available. We're also waiting for new guidance on the $10,000 of unemployment income, as well as the $3,000 to $3,600 child income tax credits, or the monthly stimulus checks of $250 to $300 per month for children. I'll keep you up to date on all the upcoming stimulus news and related news in the future. So make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. After subscribing, click the bell icon to all notifications to get notifications when we go live. There's also a share button down there, so you can share this video with your friends and family so that they know about all the upcoming stimulus packages and items also. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is a video I did yesterday about Biden's tax increases and how it might affect the lower and middle income classes also. So click on one of those videos next if you haven't watched them. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.